Right, hi guys. It's a strange video for me to do, but I thought I'd do it. I've been looking on YouTube and there's all these videos about why I switched to Sony, why I switched to Sony again and again, and that's great. I love Sony cameras. In fact, this is why I'm doing this video, because I actually started off with Sony and I loved my Sony camera. It was a DSLR, it was an A500. Now it did everything I wanted to look, took beautiful images, I was always happy with it. But there was a couple of things I couldn't deal with that made me change to my current Fuji line now. And that is because low light performance was atrocious. If you're in good light, this camera took amazing pictures, there was quick autofocus, everything I want in camera. Put it in low light and it would hunt and it would just couldn't find the focus. Also, it was a time when I was medically retired and I was not well, and I found myself carrying this big bag of camera gear. My DSLR had a battery grip on, there was I think a 7200, there was all these, I had about 4 different lenses, a Nokia, Tokina lens, a couple of Sigma lenses and a Sony lens, and it just got too heavy for me. And I realised that when I went to it was at the Paralympics, I took my camera along and all my gear and we went by transport. And by the end of the few hours, I just was exhausted, I was completely sick, feeling nauseous, because it has that effect on me as well. And any tiredness, I feel nauseous, dizzy, and it was just overwhelming. And I found it so hard to get back home with my camera gear that I vowed that it was going to go. And you know, I just haven't looked back. My Fuji gear is amazing. I know Fuji's not as big as Nikon, Canon and Sony, the way Sony are pumping out their gear now. They're excellent, they're doing great stuff. And let me just say this, at the time when I owned my Sony, their sensors were brilliant as well. I think they're still doing sensors for Nikon as well. But Fuji are different, and that's partially why I switched to Fuji from Sony. That's because the X100, when it came out, not only was the camera beautiful, and I'm a sucker for beautiful cameras, it also offered me a challenge. It's not an easy camera to use, none of the Fujis are, because most things are manual. And because I was determined to always stay into manual, I don't always now, because no need to. But at the time I just started out, I wanted to go learn to stick, everyone was saying you have to go into manual, so that's what I did. But Fuji's slow you down, everything's there. I used to find myself rushing with my DSLR, whatever automatic, just rushing, click, 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 click. With the Fuji, I take my time, I think of composition, I think of what the camera's going to look like, and the EVF, I know at the time the X100 had a hybrid viewfinder, so you could have optical and EVF, but I always used the EVF. It showed you what you were going to get before you took the picture. And that was that's brilliant, it's just brilliant. It's like you hear Jason Lanier, I love his videos, he sees what he gets before he takes pictures, and he's Sony, and the same goes for the Fujis. And my first Fuji I bought was the X100, then I wanted a backup camera, so I purchased the X10. After a few years, and very happy few years with my X100, I went to Morocco 10 days by myself. Unfortunately my X10 fell off the tripod and broke on the first day of the trip, so I was left with my X100 to take all my shots, long shots, and with a fixed lens of 28mm or 35 equivalent, 23mm 35 equivalent. It's really hard, and it really pushed me to think about everything I did, every shot. And I came back from that holiday with some of the most beautiful pictures I've ever taken, and I'll put some on the screen. So it was a camera that made me a much better photographer, and that's because of the experience I had with my Fuji camera. The way it made you take photographs, the way it pushed you to slow down and not to go crazy with spray and pray attitude. So that was it. But I just need a drink, sorry. Excuse me, my throat goes dry. But in the end, I had to sell it. I thought I'd better upgrade, and there was no way I was going to upgrade to another brand. For me, Fuji was it, and that's when I bought my XE2. I purchased another X10, but unfortunately I had to sell it because I need doing videos now, and I needed something that would give me full manual control. And Fujis aren't really aimed for videographers, they're just not. So I purchased this Lumix GH1, which is filming me now, and it's a hacked one. But back not wanting to digress too much, so I upgraded to the XE2, and that again is an amazing camera. But I do miss that challenge I had from the X100, where you were stuck with that fixed lens and you had to think more than ever than I have to do with my XE2 when I've got interchangeable lens, which is good. So eventually I'm hoping to buy the X100T if I can afford it, or at least an X100S, because I do miss that experience. So, but that's not all with the Fujis. The Fujis provide beautiful JPEGs. I mean, I've got nothing to say about the JPEGs. Even the RAWs are fantastic, and the colours you get from the Fuji are amazing. And they provide all those film, how do they call it, simulations. If you're shooting JPEG, you've got a range of film simulations which replicate the old Fuji films that they used to create. So you've got a lot of opportunities to create beautiful images with a Fuji. They're light, and that's another reason why I'm doing this video. Someone said to me, you know, that doesn't look like a professional camera because it's not your typical DSLR. Well, that's rubbish. My camera is so well built, so sturdy. It's a magnesium alloy frame throughout. You pick it up, you know you've got something substantial. In my recent video, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about Sony's. I love Sony as well. But when I pitted my Fuji against the A6000, when you pick up the Fuji and you pick up the A6000, you know you got something substantial in the Fuji, but it's not to that point where it's going to weigh you down like it did with my DSLR. It's still manageable that I can carry around, especially someone with ill health such as I have. I can carry my Fuji around all day, if I could last that long, but I could literally carry it all day and not feel a thing, well, not know it's there. Something I could not do with a DSLR. So for me, shooting with the Fuji has really changed my whole experience with photography. Now, could I change to Sony? Yes, I could. Would it provide me the same experience? No. It would provide me with excellent images, without a doubt. But the Fuji, even looking at my XE2, the styling, the retro styling. But I'm not that shallow just to pick a camera for styling. It's because of how it, like I said before, how it makes you take the picture. It gives you that experience where you're doing something rather than the camera doing everything for you. And that for me is invaluable. Excuse me. So, why did I switch from a Sony to a Fuji? Well, there were many alternatives out there, but the Fuji offered me an experience, beautiful styling cameras, less weight, and great image quality. Now, all those things are what makes my photography experience 10 times better than it ever was with my Sony. So I just thought I'd say that out there. A couple of people have been saying that make you think that size does matter. Well, in the case of my Fuji, It doesn't, because it takes equally as good photographs as many other DSLRs I've seen. And one thing I mustn't forget, the X-Trans sensor and the EXR processor, they're the guts of what make the image quality so amazing. So all I can say, if you're not sure what to get, give a Fuji a try. I'm not saying buy one, but give them a try. If you can try one out, if you can rent one out, give them a try. They are definitely worth trying out and giving a chance to, because you'll be pleasantly surprised and it will improve your photography. So from a Fuji guy, this is why I changed from a Sony to a Fuji, and I'll never look back. Hopefully I'll upgrade my XT2 to an XT1 or an XT10, but either way, or the rumoured X Pro 2, which is only rumoured, but either way I will stay with Fuji, because Fuji offers me everything I want and even more. And lastly, Fuji always remembers its customers. It constantly upgrades its cameras through firmware, something that very few manufacturers do at the moment. Well, they're starting to copy Fuji now, but Fuji's upgraded my XT2 so many times that it's done near on par with the XT1. That shows that they care about their customers. So sign off. If you're not sure what to buy and you want a mirrorless camera, or even if you want a DSLR and feel it might be too heavy for you, give a Fuji a try. You won't regret it. Anyway, I'm Jean, this is Photography in a Click, and I'm signing off. And please do subscribe. I'm looking for more subscribers before I go away, because I've got some exciting competitions, as I mentioned. October is my birthday, and for that reason I'm starting this competition off in October, where I'll be giving away that previously mentioned Hammer Lismore 170 camera backpack, and in November I'll be giving away the A7 sports cam with accessories and its protective case and an 8 gig micro SD card. So do subscribe, check out the competitions, and please do check out my sort of vlogs when I'm abroad, because I will be pumping out very short vlogs. And I hope to see you in my next video. So again, I'm Jean, this is Photography and Click, and I hope to see you again. Okay, bye bye. Oh hi, I didn't see you there. Well, I hope you liked the video, and if you want all the updates and when new videos come out, please do subscribe. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.